if folks haven't like carved a liner before, it's a long process, especially if you're doing like a large plate. And it does hurt sometimes, especially if you're carving, your hands get cramped. But it's nice, like when I was carving, thinking about them, thinking company, like what are the stories they're trying to tell me, the like messages and stuff. But as I thought deeper about this question, I thought overall that the process of my time at QAP, from the research to the printing itself, while researching, a lot of things came up, a lot of learning, a lot of cool things, like rad things. I learned about my ancestors who were already like fighting off colonizers like over hundreds of years ago. But also a lot of sad things, like unfortunately a lot of my ancestors who were hunted down and killed off. But I'm here today and hopefully I'm living their dreams and continue to live for my ancestors. And then for QAP, it's a long 5 months, so it's been a pleasure getting to know all these lovely people next to me. And I thought about how my ancestors also gathered in the past to organize, to grieve, to celebrate. And of course, we always have yummy food. So I feel like my ancestors also made that look my tummy full with yummy food. And I hope after QAP ends, I continue to like ask for help, listen to them. Hopefully they continue to guide me to the direction wherever it may take me. I guess it's supposed to be me, like Hawaii, um, covered in tattoos. I feel covered right now, but I have a lot of Filipino tattoos on me. Before ancestors, tattoos was my way of connecting. My family is also from the Visayas in the Philippines, and from this as colonies, they called us Los Empalos, the painted ones, because they were all tattooed. And you would get tattooed if you're like a warrior, you like went through like battles and wars, you mark yourself like in different chapters, different parts of your life. If you've seen other like Austronesian tattoos, you see the sea motifs. The triangles can be crocodile teeth, and sometimes like the cross marks, the X's are like snakes. So Bakla is the third part of the series of my Hawaiian series. The first one, crocodile, you might have seen on the stairwell, but it's behind y'all in the orange flag. That's honoring the violence, the Bakla. They were like the shaman, vicious spears. And then my second one, my present ancestor is Tita Aida, who's right behind me. Also, a dope trans activist, community leader in San Francisco. So this third one, I was thinking to myself, seeing myself as a future ancestor, like how do I want is simply what messages do I want to be? And yeah, and when I was doing my research on tattoos, you might see like there's different like kind of text written on these texts. They don't look like English or like letters that you see Tagalog writing today. Because before, colonization, we actually had a writing system. We were pretty literate already. It's called Babayan, and it kind of looks like Arabic, a little bit Thai. Definitely a lot of influential like movement, all that stuff. And when I was doing research, like asked my dad, and he doesn't even know it. And he's born in the Philippines. Like my family, we speak Tagalog. They don't really know about Mayan. And that's pretty common. Like his generation, even the generation before him. But now it's seen as like a renaissance, and like my generation, future generations, trying to revitalize it. If you don't know, Soma, the South Market neighborhood in the city, is like a Filipino district. That's where a lot of the Filipino community live. And then I see the buying more, trying to bring it back to businesses and everything. So I was doing my research. I was looking at the buying workshops being offered, which is dope in Soma, because linking people, the cultural people, and practitioners, all that stuff. So through the workshop, uh, facilitator he taught me that Bakla, which is if you don't know, it's kind of like a queer. Growing I've always heard as like a bad context, like how gay or queer has been used to like insult someone, all that stuff. So for me, as like revisiting my relationship to a word and just telling me that it's actually a mix of different things. The and out loud is Bamaye, which is woman. The Lake is man, so that's the La part, and the Ka or the K in the middle And if you see the symbol, it's two wavy lines connected by one line. And that's supposed to symbolize is like connection. Ka is a root word of katwa, which is like sense of self with each other, all that stuff. So the word Bakla is so like deeply powerful and then hella trans and like hella queer and hella dope. I was like, oh shit, like certain language. I know that word I wanted to put on was not in word to put on my trains for this, because definitely like I feel that's me, like how they carry both masculine and feminine energy with me on that stuff. And like for me, like I know for other trans folks, being connected to their body has not always been easy. I think once I started like getting tattoos when I was 18, I was like, yeah, I finally feeling connected. Like this, I finally seeing my body how I wanted to see it. And maybe that's also my ancestors rejoicing and me connecting back to them. And yeah, the process of making it, that was my second favorite card, and I feel like that was a little bit overwhelming because it's pretty tiny, like all the different triangles and like tattoo patterns. But it was pretty fun. I have one and some of those tattoos on me, like the chest one. I do have that tattoo and the one I want to represent like, I'm born here in the city, my roots are forever here, I'll die here, all that stuff. So hopefully in this time where it's a lot of trans people, queer folks, trying to be erased, that have always the one to be erased, I hope, we continue to see more like trans visibility, representation, and we'll never be erased. Like with this cohort, after we all connected and trying to connect to our trans ancestors and kind of revisit that and what it looks like for us. And I hope this inspires more folks to take deep breath. Thank you.